Hey everyone, this is my review slash thoughts on Sailor Moon Crystal episode 6. I've been trying to catch up since I haven't been able to do my review thought videos for a while. Anyway, let's get into this. Episode 6. We got to learn a little bit about Tuxedo Mask in this episode. The fact that he's desperate to get the silver crystal, and Usagi and him at this point seem to be bumping into each other a lot. Like since he's looking for the silver crystal, anytime she shows up where there's some type of demon or Yoma, he just happens to be there because that's a potential spot where the silver crystal should appear, or he thinks will appear. But in the past 5 episodes, it was never there. Really, it was just something else going on entirely. So he decides to make an announcement using the news throughout all of Japan to broadcast that he really needs the silver crystal, that it's important to him. And everyone sees that Usagi and the girls and the Dark Kingdom obviously sees it, and they decide to use it to their advantage. And this is different from the 90s anime. This is more in line with, this is exactly what happened in the manga, because he thought by doing this that it would show up, that it would eliminate a lot of time searching, and it would just pop up with all this hype that it's out there, and that it could be anything like a small piece of jewelry. But Zoisite takes control of the situation by announcing that it could be like a jewelry or anything, and then hypnotizes everyone through the TV screens all over the place. So Usagi gets home, she sees her mom's looking for something, but she's like, okay, what are you looking for? And she's like, they're going, silver crystal, I have to find silver crystal. And then of course Ami, Rei, and Mako are looking throughout the rest of Tokyo, and they're seeing that everyone's looking for the silver crystal. So then Luna decides they all have to meet up at the arcade, and she finally decides to show them her secret base, her little secret lair. Well, actually, she showed that to him a little earlier in the episode, after telling Usagi she is now the leader of the group. And Usagi at that point, she thought that the Sailor Vegan was talking to her, and that she was imagining it, but actually was talking to her. But I won't get into that until maybe 2 episodes later, since I'm catching up on my reviews. But yes, so they talk about how Tuxedo Mask could be an enemy as well as the Dark Kingdom. But Usagi just doesn't want to believe it. She goes to, I guess, run home or to find him. And apparently she thought she could do a marathon because she ran so much that by the time she got close to her own home or wherever, she was exhausted. She starts to pass out, and Tuxedo Mask shows up, and he grabs her arm so that she won't fall to the floor. But instead, he holds her, he checks her pulse to make sure she's okay. And then he starts talking to her a bit. He says he's not strong, and she says, like, I understand what you mean. I'm part of a team, and I don't know how to do things either. And a few minutes after that conversation, he reveals that he knows she's Sailor Moon, because he tells her to transform, and she says, but I don't have any powers as the other girls. Like, like how Sailor Mercury has her Aqua Mist, Jupiter has her lightning attacks, or, but they all call it thunder. And that Rei has her fire attacks, Sailor Mars. So she feels powerless and helpless, and this is when one of the first few times we see her get some encouragement. Like, he goes, yeah, you do. You have the a special power that makes everyone smile. It's because you were able to awaken their inner strength, that they were able to realize their true identities as Sailor Guardians, you know? You know, he gave her that extra confidence boost that she needed. And he also said that he had created this problem that he cannot resolve. You know, because he was hoping to find the silver crystal. Instead, he just created a problem that he was powerless to stop, so he needed her help at this point. And then she transforms, and this was, you know, one of the most appropriate times to show her transformation sequence, because it wasn't just like, okay, let's just reuse that transformation sequence just to show her change. It was like, you know, it was very empowering to see her transform at this moment, because she had her confidence boost. So it felt like, you know, she was jumping into action. Like, when she changed, it felt empowering. And of course, her transformation sequence in the crystal was done as more of a I am Sailor Moon view. So, you know, like, just imagine yourself doing some of the things she does in the transformation, like lifting up your arms. And you could kind of see, like, because the way the camera pans up, it looks as if, like, you were looking up at your own arms while changing, and then the legs and all that. But it doesn't, so, you know, she transforms, she says her speech, and then she runs and ends up flying her way to that rooftop, wherever things are taking place, I guess at the Tokyo TV station tower. And, you know, she asks for, I guess, a little bit of strength. And right afterwards, she uses Moon Healing Escalation for the first time to attack Zoe's site. And we see Queen Beryl for the first time, and she says she's gonna, you know, basically kill everyone. But Sailor Moon stops all that when she defeats Zoe's site. And Queen Beryl takes Zoe's site and leaves, you know, so I thought that was like, wow, that was a nice attack, and that was very empowering to see that Usagi, you know, she came to save everyone, because at that point, everyone's been attacked, and they've been saved by any new members that come, but no, Usagi saved everyone, but she also exhausted so much power, enough that, you know, she fell asleep. She went back to go, I guess, to go to Tuxedo Mask. She ended up falling asleep right in his arms. So he takes her home so she can rest, you know, and recuperate. Because at this point, she's in her Sailor Moon form. And, you know, then this ends in the cliffhanger wherein Usagi wakes up in Mamoru's apartment, and they show that she's about to realize that he is Tuxedo Mask. You know, but the animation was good. I think the plot development was good, because they show that the silver crystal, you know, it's not just any normal piece of jewelry, and it's not just a magic item that could grant power to a person, but it has enough power to destroy a planet if used in the wrong hands. So, you know, and I think it was this episode, if not this one, then it must be the next one, where we get a little bit of backstory on Queen Beryl and how she found the entrance to the Dark Kingdom, to where Queen Metalia is, and just started jumping right into the role. But anyway, you know, I hope you all have a nice day. Comment, rate, do whatever. And I gotta say that I give this episode probably a 9 out of 10. The animation was great. There were parts where the animation could have been a little better, but for the most part, and the battle scene was pretty good. Toei should have animated a little more into it, like, because they could have done a little more with it, but they didn't do that bad of a job, so I'll let it pass. Anyway, you know, have a nice day, y'all. Make another video soon. Bye.